live stream from the Parliament. I have to set up I don't know, for some reason you've got to set up a new podcast. It doesn't let you stream through on the iPhone through the existing podcast. Let me just move this down a bit, sort my tie. And what are we talking about today? Oh my God, the SNP have got big problems. Absolutely huge problems. We have now got 3 separate things that could actually derail Nicola Sturgeon's administration. So what we've got the misleading of Parliament just now, where Nicola Sturgeon was meant to have spoken with regards to misleading Parliament over the ability for Donald Trump or President Trump. What a stupid thing to do, mind you. I mean, really, honestly, it just shows the half-wits that we have as a political entity in the Scottish Parliament. That they're going to try and put forward some sort of Proceeds of Crime Act or proof of where they got the money from. I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers. Why you would want to annoy potentially the future President of the United States as well. Why you would actually want to upset one of our nearest neighbours and our best neighbours. And this is all because we've got such a far left Parliament with the loon balls, Moby and the Marxist and the Islamo-fascist, what's his face, Sawar and Hamza Useless. We've got all these individuals now in the Parliament, Moby and the Marxists. I mean, it's just wee Willie Rennie that's now resigned. And Nippy and the postmodernist Marxists. I mean, we've got it's basically this is, and what an ugly building as well. I mean, really, it looks like a combination between an NCP car park and IKEA. Absolutely no taste from the left as usual. So what have we got now is what we've got. So we've got the Parliament, which I believe that wee Nippy was probably right in this issue, misleading, saying that the First Minister misled them because they would not actually, identify where criminal sources where Donald Trump got his money from. Well, we pretty much know that Donald Trump was a billionaire financier and casino owner. There's a number of places where we already know that Donald Trump got his money from. I would be suggesting maybe we should be looking at the corporatists that seem to be funneling the money into the Lib Lab Con party. Maybe we should be looking at where they're getting the money from and where the SNP are getting the money from. Well, we already know, which actually goes straight into question number 2. Where's the £600,000 for the independence rally? The independence referendum disappeared. Now we've got the police now investigating the SNP for the missing millions or the missing hundreds of thousands. It's just an absolute disaster. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is not to mention the fact of the Alex Salmond debacle, the actual legislation that persecuted Alex Salmond's now off the table. And what else? We've got 600,000 missing, police investigation. We've also got the misleading of Parliament, which I think that should not have even been brought forward to the Parliament about the President of the United States. This is just the corporatist globalists flexing their muscles here. Same reason they get kicked off of social media. The left have now set the precedent that it's okay if you don't agree with somebody's political opinions to kick them off social media, to silence them. And the left have killed 100 million people, so it'd be very easy just to start banning left-wing people who you don't like and say, oh well, it was your fault that you killed 100 million people are dead. Boom, 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 boom. If that's the way the game's going to be played, and it's going to be played, which we already know, Lib Lab Con, the SNP and the Greens are playing this protectionist entity, this oligopoly of political entities. My interview that I did with the Scottish leader of Renew has not been put up for copyright, even though it would come under the fair usage the actual channel's been shadow banned. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible the lengths that these individuals are going to prevent anybody that disagrees with their daft narrative and the fact of them just being in power for power's sake is just absolutely incredible. So what have we got? So we've got Nicola Sturgeon missing £600,000 for the independence referendum. We've got Nicola Sturgeon misleading Parliament, and we've got Nicola Sturgeon's husband potentially up in perjury charges for husband, 11-year anniversary, I'll come back to that in a minute, up on perjury charges potentially, and Jackie Bailey's pushing it from the last parliamentary session before the election, so that these people can actually, so that Nicola Sturgeon's husband might be actually being charged with perjury for the disgraceful persecution of Alex Salmond. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. This is like a tin pot country just now because of our political class. All of them. I'm not saying that anyone that's elected here, there's some people who are not elected in smaller parties who may be significantly more effective parliamentarians. I would say Alex Salmond is significantly better. You didn't get all these scandals under Alex Salmond. Didn't get any of these scandals. You didn't get perjury trials and £600,000 missing and the fact of misleading Parliament. Didn't get any of that under Alex Salmond, regardless if you like Alex Salmond or not. I mean, just purely being objective, and obviously I'm objective on the various types of political entities that we've got. I give them all a fair shake and listen to them. So we've got 600,000 missing, misleading Parliament, and we've now got perjury allegations from Jackie Bailey from the Labour Party for her husband. And then we've also got in the pipeline, and I've heard it through various sources, that Nicola, there's been allegations made, and this is allegations. I would just like to say there's nothing been proved, although I believe there might be a video going about, that Nicola Sturgeon assaulted in a jealous fit. I think it was Balmoral. Don't get me wrong, but at a location where she assaulted her girlfriend and actually punched her and knocked her down. And this was all been covered up. There was a super injunction to prevent the press from actually speaking with regards to this. And this has all been covered up by the press. Obviously, there's no girlfriend and no super injunction, so I'll be able to say this because this didn't happen. But obviously, if I all of a sudden go to jail, you know I brought you the truth again, as per usual. So Nicola's husband's 11-year marriage could be a sham. She could have assaulted, allegedly, this is all allegations just now, our girlfriend, and then corrupted the court system, which has already been corrupted, to cover up the assault of her girlfriend in Balmoral, in a drunken fit of rage. And I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable what's happening here. And this is the authoritarians just protecting their own, just getting increasingly nasty. I think we have to look out with the five political parties and start to look for other people who may be of a better political ilk to fill this huge void. And I'm talking about huge void. Salwar's going down to speak to Keir Starmer and saying, oh, don't worry, I'll turn this round. Already losing another 2 MSPs at the Scottish election. So far, the Labour Party's got 1 elected MP and 2 first past the post elected MSPs. The rest are all on the list, including Salwar. Salwar couldn't get elected either. And if the million people who had voted on the regional list, 500,000 had gone for Alba and 500,000 had gone for, say, the Scottish Libertarian Party, which is also another nationalist party, different slant on it, but a different nationalist party, then it would have decimated the unionist vote. But we Nippy said, oh no, I want you to vote for the SNP to get 2 MSPs out for 1 million votes. So if that million votes, 500,000 had gone to the Alba Party, 500,000 had gone to the Scottish Libertarian Party, it would have destroyed the Scottish Labour Party and the Scottish Conservative Party, because you would have got between 10 and 30 nationalist MPs from different parties on the second past the post, and you would have taken 10 from Labour and maybe 10 from the Conservatives, say hypothetically, could vary between 10 and 30, as high as 30, on the regional list. And because Nicola Sturgeon was so selfish and didn't think about the greater nationalist cause, from her point of view, that she said, oh no, vote for the SNP for 1 million votes to get 2 MSPs. I mean, it's just absolutely, if you're actually caring about the nationalist cause, you just wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be saying to the greater nationalist movement, vote SNP, get 2 MPs, or if you use the million, you would say to the million vote, go and vote for the Alba Party or the Scottish Libertarian Party. Share the votes equally between them, and then you're going to get much less unionists in Labour and the Conservative Party, and you're going to get much higher nationalist votes for the greater nationalist cause. But no, she's not even that joined up thinking. It's all about Nicola. She's just far too authoritarian, and I think she's now past her sell-by date. She's now actually, I think, been in power too long. She's lacking ideas. She doesn't have any. The SNP manifesto was wasn't inspiring at all. Wasn't inspiring. Yeah, I mean, it was virtually a waste of time. And if you were going to be a nationalist and you were voting, you could have gone for the first past the post for the SNP, which would have got 62 MSPs, which would have been plenty, and then you would have gone for the Alba Party or the Scottish Libertarian Party, and maybe shared, if you were in a household of nationalists, shared your votes evenly between those two, and then you would have actually got various voices in the Scottish Parliament, new voices, well, not really new from the Alba Party, I think they're two cheeks of the same arse of the SNP, but certainly from the Scottish Libertarian Party, you would have got new voices in the Scottish Parliament, which would have been much better than the lack of political nuance we're getting from the SNP. Nothing inspiring there from the SNP. So what's happened now? Now she's managed to destroy the economy. We're still getting locked in like a bunch of individuals in solitary. I mean, she's destroyed the Scottish economy. She's going to go down so far as, and there's a few certain individuals who haven't been very good as First Minister, but Nicola Sturgeon is now going to go down as the worst First Minister since this new abomination, this new NCP car park looking thing was actually developed in the first place. The worst by far. She'll have decimated the Scottish economy because of a virus that's 99.5 and above survivable. And she's managed to destroy and keep us all in our houses in the Scottish Parliament. In our houses over this Corona period time. I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers politics, bonkers. But I knew before the election the walls are starting to come in Nicola Sturgeon. The walls are starting to come in, and Sarwar's no replacement. Sarwar, I think, is actually, I don't know how clever the SNP actual voters are, but had they actually voted for the other two parties, whether it be the Scottish Alba Party or the Scottish Libertarian Party, not only would they have decimated the unionists, you've got fresh ideas, and but I don't know if they're politically cognitive. I'm not saying there's anybody stupid here. No, Scotland's full of very bright people. I'm not saying that at all. But some people aren't really politically interested. They just got on with their life, and they're not really interested. They don't the downsides on certain things, and they also get a slanted opinion from the media to actually only have a deliberately done political point of view. And this is deliberately done, as we saw, whose company, I believe, in based on the race, while he's shouting at me being a racist. I mean, you couldn't actually write it. Discriminating against white people, producing job applications against white people, people would not like what's going on. I just wanted to get this out. Nicola Sturgeon is big husband might be going to jail for perjury. Certainly it's going to be embarrassing enough if he's on trial for allegation of assault, her assaulting her girlfriend that she said she doesn't have. I mean, it's just absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And then we've got obviously we've got the £600,000, the perjury trial, the misleading of Parliament again, which would be a resigning issue, which she would have actually the resigning issue which she should have had before the Scottish election, and when I actually said that she was going to have to resign, because obviously of the Alex Salmond thing's not going away. And I nearly forgot. And Alex Salmond, I think, is going to sue us, and suing the government, he's going to take the advice given by his legal counsel to actually sue government. So he's actually now going to take it to court for them, the botched handling of his actual trial in the first place. So he's been given legal advice to actually take him to court, which I think he should do. And hopefully he's going to come on the Guerilla TV channel and have a one-to-one like the other political leaders. I think we're getting another 2 political parties coming on board. So there's 2 that have said, one said they would do it much later in the year potentially. One said they were only standing in that parliament as almost like a protest vote. So we're doing very well for the people that are actually prepared to actually come on, and we've hosted them very well so far. That's 6, we're up to 6 out of I think 25, 26. And if any of the independents want to get a hold of me, any independent MSP standing, guerillatvchannel at gmail.com. I'm more than happy to chat to you and make sure that your opinions and what you're actually put forward in the election is amplified. So Alex Salmond could be suing the government again for the botched handling of the actual trial that was a no-show, that me Nippy tried to destroy Alex Salmond, and now Alex Salmond is now the 6th largest party in Scotland, which is quite incredible. So I would come on board, Alex, come on, let's do a 3-hour chat, and let's have a good rummage into where you're standing and what the Alba Party is all about. And let's have an in-depth deep dive. Because if it's just another like SNP light, I think we need to be on a different part of the political compass just now. And we seem to be just stoating about from one left-wing political entity to another. And I suggest that it's the left wing that's the problem in Scotland just now, and has been for a number of years, but that's been allowed to continue unchecked, and I think that has to be checked now. So Alex Salmond now suing the Scottish government. There he's now going to take the government to court with regards to the fact that they did not correctly bring forward the prosecution against him, and there was when the judge did the review that found Nicola Sturgeon had misled Parliament. It was found that she had misled Parliament, that she didn't resign, which she should have resigned at that point, and now that Alex Salmond, the judge, has said that there is a area of law where Alex Salmond has got the ability to sue the government, and he should do that and actually pursue that legal case on the government. So there's 4 different things that all the walls are now coming in Nicola Sturgeon, and it's all like coming at once. It's the end of a bad reign, and as a Scottish First Minister, she'll go down as the worst First Minister. We've now seen which I told you was going to happen, the reports coming out for the schools, and the schools have been an absolute disaster. There's a whole list of things, the health and everything else, that I'll go through later on, where the SNP have been an absolute unmitigated disaster in government. Oh, come on. So I think only one of these things really need to hit, and then we've actually got the SNP going to actually fail as a political party, and Nicola Sturgeon will be replaced. But they're all starting to hit simultaneously. And if the parliamentarians, which I don't think any of them are really worth their salt, to be brutally honest with you, could actually hold Nicola Sturgeon to account, they could really make hay while the sun shines with all of these allegations. police corruption, corruption in the SNP, missing money, police investigation, perjury trials into Nicola Sturgeon's husband for lying to Parliament, misleading Parliament over the Donald Trump fiasco and saying that Donald Trump had, that Nicola Sturgeon was not going to investigate President Trump, who's built golf courses and is Scottish as well. Not that that's a defence in itself, that he could not be investigated for, I don't know if it was money laundering, I don't want to say money laundering, but misappropriation of funds, shall we say, which is a lesser charge. But I don't even know why they're doing that as well. That just shows you the standard of the dough balls that we have in here. And then obviously we've got Nicola Sturgeon allegedly battering her girlfriend that the press have had to cover up because she's taken out a super injunction. All allegations, but these are the allegations that are floating about political circles at the top. And you know, I talk to everybody. So I mean, it's just she's. I told you before. I told you last year that her jacket was hanging in a shaky peg, or certainly earlier this year, her jacket was hanging in a shaky peg. She should have resigned before the Scottish election. She clung on, and now she's actually going to definitely 100%. She's going to have to resign. The writing is on the wall. There's too many things that it's like the fall of Rome. There's too many things starting to keep in through the mismanagement and corruption in the SNP for longevity and governance. And this is the issue that's happening just now. My baby gorillas, I'm going to do something else in 5 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that.